Since times immemorial, there have been many causes of infertility, ranging from tubal factors, hormonal imbalances, and uterine factors in women, low sperm count, or poor sperm quality in men. But of late, if you ask me what are the most common causes these days, I think it is the reduced egg reserve and also the reduced quality and the number of the sperms. Well, there are many tests to evaluate infertility, both in men as well as women, but we would begin with the very basics. In men, the most important is the semen analysis, which you should do after 2 to 3 days of abstinence. And in women, the most important test is to see if the tubes are open, to see if the egg reserve is adequate, if it is not less, and a basic ultrasound which will rule out any uterine pathologies like fibroid, etc. Extremes of weight are not good. Neither too skinny, neither too obese is good, both for men and women. In women, if you are too skinny, then there is not adequate fat in your body. So this fat is basically the precursor for forming all the steroid hormones which are important for forming the eggs and helping you to get pregnant. And if you are obese, then of course, as we all know, it is associated with insulin resistance and polycystic ovarian syndrome, and then you have problems in getting pregnant because of the hormonal imbalance. There is anovulation and diabetes and other things. And as a male, again, if you are obese, there is a very high chance that the spermatogenesis, which is the process through which the sperm forms and the sperm matures and comes out, gets affected because of the local increase in the temperature in the scrotum. Well, if you have been trying regularly for pregnancy since at least 1 year and you've been unsuccessful, then you should see a fertility specialist after that 1 year. Also, if your age is more than 35 years, you've been married late, or you know that you have some other known hormonal imbalance like polycystic ovarian syndrome, or you are a known case of endometriosis and you've been having heavy periods and painful periods since your menarche, or if there is any other known medical disorder that you have, either you have or your husband has, then you must consider trying for 6 months and then seeing your fertility specialist. Well, there is nothing called as a fertility diet, and whatever fad diets are in the market, they hardly are of any benefit. You must take home cooked meals which are balanced in all the nutrients. You must take your adequate amounts of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, because of course fats are also important for hormone formation along with minerals. You should take a good portion of fresh fruits, the seasonal ones, not some fancy fruits or some fancy vegetables which are preserved and which are not of the season. So yes, as such, there is nothing called as a fertility diet. You must exercise rather for at least 30 to 40 minutes every day, along with taking a balanced home cooked meal. Only for patients who are polycystic ovarian syndrome or who are obese, you need to consult a nutritionist, and they will give you a diet which is balanced in your calories and your proteins, so that you achieve your adequate or the required body weight for you to have a natural ovulation. Well, we suggest you to take some prenatal vitamins, which will include most importantly folic acid. Folic acid is basically important to prevent neural tube defects in the child, and it is actually suggested as a prenatal vitamin for all the women who are planning pregnancy, and you must start taking them at least 3 months prior to your plan of getting pregnant, and they have to be continued for the first 3 months of pregnancy as well. In women who have a history of a previous child with Down syndrome or with any other neural tube defect, in them the dose is a little more for folic acid which we suggest, and that is the most important prenatal that you must take. Well, I would say that the most important factor or the most important problem why infertility is on the rise is because of reduced egg number and reduced egg quality by the time the patient comes and visits us. All women are born with a basket of eggs, and with each menstrual cycle, few hundreds grow and only one either goes ahead for conception or brings on a period. So there comes a point in our lives where being genetically predisposed to that specific point, where the number of the eggs reduces and the quality also reduces. This is called your perimenopause, and eventually it goes up to menopause, wherein the number and the quality of the eggs becomes completely less, and finally you stop having your periods. So as we are encountering more and more late marriages and more problems like endometriosis or polycystic ovarian syndrome, which are being dealt with surgery when the lady is a teenager or a young adult, we of course are encountering a lot of patients with poor egg number as well as poor egg quality. So in women it is more important than in men. I am not saying that in men sperm number or the quality does not matter. It does matter, and at this age it matters even more than what it used to earlier, because sperm number and quality is also getting affected because of the lifestyle, alcohol intake and cigarette smoking and stress and laptop usage on the lap. But of course it's more relevant for the females than males, but at the same time we cannot ignore the sperm quality and the number for men as well.